this is Roger with iGadget Geek. Today we're going to be taking a look at two keyboard cases for the iPad Air. Now both of these were from MiniSuit, and they're two different styles. You basically have the style that turns your iPad Air into kind of a netbook, if you will. It just attaches to the iPad Air and works like most laptops. Now the second one is a folio style case with a keyboard built into it. But let's start right here with this one that actually kind of turns your iPad Air into a netbook or a laptop. Now, of course, you'll want to pair this with your iPad Air. Now, I have already paired these and used both of them, and I'm going to have to say I've been pretty impressed with these keyboard cases, especially due to their low cost. Now, this style here is going to run you right at $25. It's $24.95 on Amazon. I will have a link in the description. Now the folio style that's leather is going to run you a little bit more. It's going to run you right around $34.95. There again, I'll have a link in the description. But let's go ahead and start here with the clamshell style. So I've got here is my AT&T iPad Air. It's a 32 gig model. So what I want to do first is you want to go ahead and place it right here into the stand. And this is lined with felt and rubber, so it's not going to scratch your iPad Air. You just want to set it right up on here and just take your time, and it fits pretty snugly. Now one thing you want to make sure is that you actually have your volume buttons at the top, because if they're at the bottom, you're not going to be able to access them once it's in this case. Now once you have it seated, you can close it. Make sure you have it lined up. And I'll go ahead and give you guys a walk around. So as you can see, it turns it right into basically like a small netbook, or maybe an iPad Air, or a MacBook Air, same kind of style, very thin, very light. Now the keyboard itself is plastic, but the hinge is aluminum. So you have a lot of heavy duty hinge here, but the keyboard itself is plastic. Now one of the really nice features is it does have the sleep-wake function. So when you close this, it will lock and put your iPad Air to sleep. And then of course, once you open it, it's going to wake up your iPad Air. Now as you can see, I have my iPad Air installed in this MiniSuit case. As you can see, it does turn it into like a netbook. So as you can see, we can go right in here and open up a new document. And once we've done that, now of course we have already paired our keyboard case with our iPad, so that's out of the way. Once you do that, you come in here and you have your full typing functionality. You actually have all your keys and everything. Right here's your backspace. Now it does have some dedicated keys. Right up here you do have a home, a volume up and down. Now to access those, they also share that with the number key. So you have to press your function. You have a home button, so we can go back into pages. You have a home button, will take you all the way home. You have a lock. Of course, you can unlock it. You have your volume up and down, a silent switch. You have a fast forward, play, pause, track back. And then of course you have your brightness settings, so you can adjust the brightness right here from the keyboard, which is nice that they have all those. Now, it would be a little bit nicer if those were a dedicated row as opposed to being a shared row with the number keys, but for the price, you got to keep in mind, this case is going to set you back $25. Now, it's not going to give you a lot of protection on your iPad Air. Your iPad Air is completely exposed, but if you do carry it and you do a lot of typing on your iPad Air, I definitely would recommend this case. So let's go ahead and set that case to the side and take a look here at the folio style case from MiniSuit. Now it has like a leather finish. Now this is probably a faux leather. I truly doubt it's real leather, but it does have a very nice finish. Now basically here you also have a keyboard. You have a place to hold your iPad Air, but here's where it really gets neat. You have a little kickstand here, so you can prop open your iPad and it'll function. You can do your typing. But let's say you don't need to type, so you don't necessarily want to take the keyboard with you. The keyboard has 4 magnets at the 4 corners that attach it to the folio case. And then once you pop it off, you can use it just as a plain folio case without the keyboard. So really neat feature on this case is the fact that you can have it with or without the keyboard. Now I'm going to go ahead and pull my iPad Air out of the other keyboard case, and we'll go ahead and stick it in here so you guys can get kind of an idea how it works here in this folio case. Now basically, to install this, you have a Velcro tab here. You just want to slide your iPad Air in. Now once you've done that, this tucks back around behind your iPad Air and it Velcros to keep it in place. Now once you've done that, you do have access to your sync and charge port. Your speakers are open. You can access your volume up and down. It's a little hard to get to these, especially your silent switch. You can get to them, but you kind of have to put your finger right in there just right. For me, it's not a big problem. Just want you to be aware. You have a nice cutout for your camera and your secondary mics and your headphone jack. You can access that. Your sleep-wake button, no problem. Now, one thing I have noticed there too, this case has the sleep-wake function. So if you close it, it will lock and unlock when you open it. Then, of course, you can use that integrated kickstand. Prop this open. And there too, you have your keyboard with an on-off switch. So you can come in here and access that. There again, it shares those dedicated buttons with the numbers, but your lock and your delete, you actually have to hit function to use the delete. It's lock by default. So a little bit of difference, and your home button is home by default. But everything else, your brightness up and down, you actually have to use the function. There again, your volume up and down, you use the function key. Other than that, the two keyboards are pretty much identical. Now, I would have to admit, this is my favorite of the two, but it is going to run you a little bit more. It runs right at $34.95. As you can see, it is pretty thick when the keyboard is installed. But here's where this case gets cool. We can pop the keyboard out, and you can still use it. And as you can see, now it's just a standard folio style case for your iPad Air. If you don't need your keyboard, you can leave it in your bag or at the office. But if you know you're going to need it, you can take it with you. So that has been my review of a couple of the keyboard cases offered by MiniSuit. Again, I will have links to both of these in the description. And this has been Roger with iGadget Geek.